Have you ever been yanked out of sleep in the middle of the night by a sharp, twisting cramp in your calf? What if I told you that age itself isn't to blame, your everyday choices are the silent trigger? And the most surprising part, you don't need pills to fix it, just a little awareness and a few small changes. Hi, I'm Dr. Nana, and today on Senior Health Boost, we're diving deep into the habits that quietly weaken your legs and spark painful nighttime spasms. Most people assume leg cramps at night are simply a sign of getting older. But the truth is, age is not the villain here. The real culprits are the small things we do without thinking, the way we sit, the way we eat, the way we sleep. These subtle choices slowly drain strength from your muscles, until one night, your calf seizes up like a vice. The good news? You don't need medication. What you need is awareness. I once worked with Mr. Allen, a 70-year-old man who thought cramps were just part of aging. But when we looked closely at his evenings skipping water, sitting too long after dinner, crossing his legs in bed, the problem revealed itself. After just a few simple adjustments, the cramps that haunted him for years almost disappeared. I've seen this story repeat again and again. So let me ask you, have you ever jolted awake with a painful spasm, or felt your legs unusually weak when stepping out of bed in the morning? Drop a 1 in the comments if yes. Oh, if no. I promise we read and respond to every single one. In this video, I'll uncover 7 everyday habits that may be silently stealing your strength and setting you up for restless nights. Some of them may shock you, because they seem harmless, yet they hold tremendous power over your muscles. Stay with me. And if you want stronger legs and calmer nights, make sure you subscribe to Senior Health Boost. The small changes you'll learn today could transform the way you sleep and the way you move for years to come. Now, let's start with the first habit: dehydration. When your body runs low on water, it's not just your mouth that feels dry. Your muscles feel it too. Without steady hydration, key electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium drop, and these are the very spark plugs that help your muscles contract and relax smoothly. Without them, even when you're lying still, your calf can suddenly twist into a painful knot. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that dehydration significantly increases the frequency of nighttime cramps, especially in older adults. That's because aging reduces the body's thirst signals. By the time you feel thirsty, you're often already behind. Take Mrs. Linda, a 68-year-old from Arizona. She loved gardening in the afternoon, but rarely carried a water bottle, thinking she'd catch up at dinner. But almost every night, around 2 a.m., her calf would lock so tightly that she had to pace the hallway until it finally eased. Once we added just 2 extra glasses of water, one in the morning and one mid-afternoon, her nightly cramps dropped dramatically. No medication, just hydration. So here's the simple takeaway. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Aim for steady hydration throughout the day, around 6 to 8 cups for most older adults, adjusted for your activity and health. Herbal teas, clear soups, and water-rich fruits like melons or oranges all count. Think of water as the oil that keeps your muscle gears turning smoothly. But here's the twist: many people think hydration is the only cause. In reality, there's another habit just as dangerous, and it's one most people overlook. Let's move on to that next. We just uncovered how dehydration can quietly trigger painful cramps at night. But staying hydrated is only part of the picture. Another hidden culprit: sitting still for too long. Take George, a 71-year-old retired accountant from Michigan. He loved spending his afternoons reading novels in his armchair, sometimes sitting in the exact same position for 3 or 4 hours without moving. At night, his calves would seize so violently that he once described it as feeling like he was being stabbed from the inside. The pain was sharp, sudden, and terrifying. Yet when we introduced just 2 short walking breaks into his afternoons and encouraged him to gently stretch his ankles before bedtime, the difference was almost immediate. The cramps that had tormented him for years dropped dramatically in frequency, almost overnight. George was amazed. He couldn't believe that something as simple as moving a little more could bring such powerful relief. And maybe you're wondering the same thing. If sitting is such a big part of my day, what can I do to protect myself? The answer is surprisingly simple. Break up long periods of inactivity with small bursts of movement. Stand up every 30 to 40 minutes. March in place for a minute. Take a quick stroll around the room. These tiny interruptions are like flipping a switch, keeping your circulation active and your muscles supplied with oxygen. Even at night, when you're lying in bed, Flexing and extending your ankles for just a minute can encourage blood flow and help prepare your muscles for rest. Think of it as priming your body before sleep. These simple, gentle actions are often the difference between a peaceful night and waking up clutching your leg in pain. Now, you might be thinking, what about food? Surely cramps have nothing to do with what I eat, right? But here's the truth: what you put on your dinner plate plays a far bigger role than most people realize. A heavy, salty dinner doesn't just leave you feeling bloated. Salt makes your body cling to extra fluid. That fluid raises blood pressure and forces your blood vessels, especially the tiny ones in your legs, to work overtime. As the muscles around those vessels are squeezed, they become more prone to sudden, painful cramping. It's not just about how much you salt your food. It's about the chain reaction it triggers inside your body. On the other hand, alcohol creates an entirely different, yet equally damaging problem. Alcohol robs your body of vital B vitamins, particularly thiamine and folate. These nutrients are not optional. They are essential for healthy nerves and strong muscles. Without them, your nerves lose their ability to regulate muscle relaxation properly. Over time, too much alcohol can literally damage the nerve fibers that signal your muscles to release. And when that system falters, your legs are left weaker, twitchier, and far more vulnerable to spasms. Let me tell you about Mr. Thomas, a 70-year-old from Louisiana. He cherished his evenings, often enjoying a plate of rich, salty gumbo and washing it down with a couple of beers. To him, it felt harmless, part of his routine, part of his culture. But for months, he struggled with nightly cramps so intense that he sometimes had to walk the floor until morning. At first, he blamed his age. This is just what happens when you get old, he thought. But when he made a simple shift, reducing the salt in his meals and swapping his evening beers for sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon, something remarkable happened. The cramps that had been his nightly companions nearly disappeared. And even more surprising, his daytime energy came back. No longer drained by hidden nutrient depletion, his body began to feel light, alive, and strong again. So if you find yourself reaching for salty snacks or pouring that nightly drink, here's a gentle challenge. Try choosing lighter evening meals instead. Fill your plate with vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. Use herbs like garlic, rosemary, or basil to flavor your food rather than piling on salt. And if you enjoy a drink, save it for special occasions rather than making it a daily habit. You may be astonished at how quickly your legs thank you. Even 1 or 2 weeks of these small changes can bring a dramatic difference in the way your muscles behave overnight. But let's not stop there, because food and drink aren't the only daily choices silently weakening your legs. There's another factor, one that's even more fundamental. It's not what you eat or drink. It's not even how long you sit. It's about how often you move your body throughout the entire day. Your muscles are like living engines. They need to be used to stay strong. When the day passes with little to no movement, those engines start to fade. The fibers shrink, and their power declines. Think of it like leaving a car in the garage for months without starting it. The battery drains, the oil settles, the gears grow stiff. In your body, inactivity does the same thing. Your muscles weaken, and by the time night arrives, those underused fibers are far more likely to rebel, tightening suddenly into painful cramps. Science confirms this. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that older adults who engaged in less than 30 minutes of daily activity were nearly twice as likely to suffer from nocturnal leg cramps compared to those who kept up a moderate routine. Why? Because movement does so much more than burn calories. It pumps blood, delivers oxygen, and flushes away chemical byproducts that irritate nerves and muscles. Without it, your legs grow stiff, heavy, and primed for nighttime spasms. The best part? You don't need a gym membership or a fancy routine to turn this around. Even small, everyday actions make a difference. A short walk around the block, gentle stretching in your favorite chair, light household chores like folding laundry, sweeping the porch, or watering your plants. These may seem ordinary, but for your muscles, they are powerful signals that say, stay alive, stay strong, stay ready. Over time, these little bursts of activity add up like daily tune-ups. They keep your muscles flexible, your circulation steady, and your energy intact. What matters most is not perfection, but consistency. The rhythm of moving your body in small but meaningful ways every single day. And here's a simple question for you. Have you ever noticed that your cramps feel worse on days when you barely move? If so, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, Type O. Your feedback matters, and I promise we read and respond to every single one. So, hydration, breaking up, sitting time, and evening meals all play their part. But as we'll see in the next section, there's yet another daily factor, one that often goes unnoticed, that can silently strip your muscles of their strength and make those nighttime cramps even more likely. Let's move forward and uncover it together. In the last section, we saw how movement and even the food and drinks we choose can make or break our nights. But here's the part many people overlook. What you sip later in the day might quietly undo all that effort. Let's talk about caffeine. That afternoon cup of coffee or strong tea may feel comforting, but caffeine hides a problem. It acts like a diuretic, pushing water and essential minerals like potassium and magnesium out of your body. And these minerals are not optional. They're the very spark plugs your muscles rely on to stay balanced. When levels run low, fibers begin to misfire. Twitching starts. Then, in the dead of night, the cramps arrive. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed something striking. Older adults with higher caffeine intake, especially later in the day, had nearly a 40% greater risk of nocturnal leg cramps. Why? Because the combination of lost hydration, depleted minerals, and caffeine's stimulant effect keeps your nervous system buzzing. Muscles never truly relax. They hover in a subtle state of tension, which leaves your legs restless at night and weak by morning. Consider Mrs. Caroline, a 73-year-old from Oregon. She loved her tea, 3 cups of strong black tea every day, often with her last cup around 5 in the evening while chatting with neighbors. By bedtime, she couldn't settle, and around 2 in the morning, her calves would lock like iron bands. She thought it was harmless, even healthy, since tea is often praised for heart health. But once she swapped that late-day tea for chamomile and added 1 extra glass of water in the afternoon, the difference stunned her. The nightly cramps that had tormented her began to fade. She told me with relief, "I never realized my tea habit was stealing my sleep." The takeaway isn't to abandon your favorite drinks. It's about timing and balance. Keep coffee or strong tea for the morning, when your body can process it. Then, in the afternoon and evening, shift to herbal teas, warm water with lemon, or other soothing alternatives. That simple change can transform restless nights into calm, restorative sleep. But drinks aren't the only factor. Even something as innocent as how you position your legs in bed can quietly trigger cramps. When you curl up tightly or cross one leg over the other, you compress blood vessels and restrict circulation. Muscles depend on a steady stream of oxygen and nutrients. Without it, they grow tense and unstable, more likely to spasm when you roll over or stretch out after hours of stillness. Medical research published in the Journal of Vascular Medicine highlights poor circulation as one of the strongest predictors of nighttime cramps in adults over 60. This isn't just about comfort, it's mechanical. If blood can't reach your calf muscles freely, fibers become starved of energy. Deprived and unstable, they fire off sudden contractions. That's the stabbing pain that rips you out of sleep. The good news? Small adjustments can protect you. Try lying on your back with a pillow under your knees, or on your side with a pillow between your legs to keep them aligned. Avoid curling too tightly, and don't let one leg rest across the other for long stretches. These small changes maintain circulation, ease pressure, and give your muscles the freedom to rest. Another tool is gentle stretching before bed. Flex and extend your ankles. Point your toes forward and back. Slowly circle your feet. Just a few minutes of these small motions can spark circulation, release tension in your calves, and prepare your muscles for peaceful rest. Think of it like tucking your muscles into bed, the same way you would a child, with care, attention, and reassurance. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you notice more cramps when you sleep curled up or with your legs crossed? Drop a 1 in the comments if yes, or oh if no. We read every response, and your stories help others recognize their own patterns. And before we move on, remember this: your muscles depend on more than just water and circulation. They also need nutrients like wires carrying electricity through a house to keep signals smooth and steady. Potassium and magnesium regulate contraction and relaxation. Calcium ensures those contractions fire correctly. Vitamin D allows calcium to be absorbed and used effectively. Without these building blocks, the system misfires, leaving muscles twitchy, weak, and primed for cramps. Research in the New England Journal of Medicine has shown that low magnesium levels, in particular, are linked with a significant rise in muscle cramps among older adults. This hidden nutritional gap is the next piece of the puzzle and one you'll want to understand fully. So stay with me, because in the next part, we'll uncover how nutrient deficiencies silently weaken your muscles and what you can do to restore balance. Earlier, we explored how hydration, movement, food choices, and even posture influence your nights. Now we arrive at the final piece of the puzzle, nutrients. Your muscles don't just rely on circulation and activity, they depend on the right vitamins and minerals working together in harmony. Research in Osteoporosis International confirms that vitamin D deficiency does more than weaken bones, it also heightens the risk of muscle pain and nighttime spasms. But here's the key insight. It's rarely just about one nutrient in isolation. Your body is like a team. When one player goes missing, whether it's magnesium, potassium, calcium, or vitamin D, the entire system struggles. Take the story of Mr. Daniel, a 74-year-old from North Carolina. His diet was far from balanced. He ate little fruit or dairy, often grabbing quick snacks instead of real meals. Over time, his legs grew heavier, and the nighttime cramps struck more often. When his doctor ran tests, the results revealed what his body had been trying to say all along. His vitamin D and magnesium levels were too low. The solution wasn't extreme. By adding fortified milk, leafy greens, and a simple daily walk in the morning sun, Daniel noticed a remarkable transformation. Within weeks, the cramps that had once woken him nightly became rare visitors. Climbing stairs felt steadier. His legs carried him with a strength he thought was gone for good. So what can you do to protect yourself? Start small, but stay steady. Add bananas, oranges, or spinach to your meals to boost potassium and magnesium. Enjoy yogurt or a glass of milk to support calcium. Step outside for 15 minutes each day to allow sunlight to fuel natural vitamin D production. These habits may seem simple, but they are powerful tools for reclaiming restful nights. Supplements can also help, but remember, always discuss them with your doctor to ensure they're safe and suited for you. When guided well, nutrients become building blocks for strength, not quick fixes. And here's the hopeful truth. Nighttime cramps are not an unavoidable part of aging. They are signals. Messages from your body that it needs a little more care, a little more balance. With the right fuel, your muscles can remain strong, flexible, and ready to carry you through peaceful nights and vibrant, active days. Tonight, we've uncovered something important together. Aging itself isn't the thief of comfort. It's the small, repeated choices to little water, too much sitting, salty or heavy meals, late caffeine, curled up posture, missing nutrients that accumulate silently until one night, your muscles rebel. But here's the inspiring part. None of the solutions require expensive treatments or complicated routines. By moving more, drinking steadily, choosing meals that are gentle on your body, and nourishing yourself with essential minerals, you can feel lighter on your feet and rest more peacefully. Even one small change can ripple into surprising relief. I encourage you not to view these cramps as punishments or something you must resign yourself to. Instead, see them as gentle nudges, a reminder that your body is asking for attention, for care. You deserve nights without stabbing pain. You deserve mornings filled with energy, when climbing stairs feels easy and walking feels steady. So let me ask you, have you ever noticed your cramps improve when you changed even one habit? Share your experience in the comments below, because your story may inspire someone else who is silently struggling tonight. And now, as we close, I want to leave you with this. Your body is resilient. It responds quickly when you give it the right care. The steps we've talked about, hydration, movement, smarter meals, mindful posture, and proper nutrients, are not just medical advice. They are acts of self-respect, acts of hope. If you found value in this video, and if you want more practical, science-based guidance for stronger legs, healthier nights, and vibrant years ahead, I invite you to like this video and subscribe to Senior Health Boost. Together, we'll keep uncovering the simple truths that help you live not just longer but stronger, steadier, and with the peace of mind you deserve. Because your best years are not behind you. They can still be ahead if you give your body the chance.